Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Happy Catty Crypto here. So, good update. I've got a new microphone muff. Well, I know, right? Joys of being a coming up 30-year-old adult. As a streamer, I purchased a new muff for the microphone, but less of that, more of LUNACLASSIC. So as you can see, I've put out a post pretty much saying about bringing utility back to the chain and that there won't be enough coins to go around if we create enough demand, and creating demand is key. And this is something that Shiba Inu coin's done very well, and obviously with the promise of burns, their metaverse and things like that also attributing to it. But if you apply SHIB's market cap to our coin, it gets you thinking. It makes you understand that just because we have 6.5 trillion coins doesn't mean that we can't move on up to higher prices and get good games on the way. But what I really want to focus on in this video is 4159. 4159 has passed, and there's a lot of people going around saying nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. Why is nothing happening? And it's a text proposal. If you watch the content, if you subscribe with us, you follow what we do, you know that we cover all the bases. Good, bad, negative, positive. I mean, we've even covered things that have lost us followers, and I'm okay with that because ultimately those people have left because they didn't like dealing with all the proposals. They didn't want to accept the negative things that could possibly happen, and they saw that as a risk and obviously left the space. That's totally on them. That's the whole point with doing your own diligence, doing your own research and things like that. So how big is this? It's huge. And when I say it's huge, this is probably the one that you folks are going to want to remember. You're going to want to look back and say, damn, grandma, wasn't that a speed bump? Wasn't that a funny time that we was in? And we start to move on up for here, in my opinion. This is where it all starts to come together, where everybody starts to really come together. We're going to get validators joining after 60 days once the staking returns. And if you've watched the AMA that I've got and that I've had with most recently Matt, Zada, and then I've done one with EK826, there'll be another one coming from him shortly, probably tomorrow or the day after. So there's going to be more proposals. There's always going to be more proposals. But more specifically, there's going to be a proposal for a parameter change for 3568. And that's what Ed's coming on the channel to speak about, alongside all the other bits and bobs that we're going to be talking about. But that's going to be one of the main ones that we focus on, is the fact that there's going to be another proposal that you folks will have to vote yes to. All of the validators will have to vote yes to. And once that happens, it will be a parameter change, meaning that it will be applied, and then we'll get an epoch pass, and then it will reach its block of where it gets executed. And then from that point onwards, we will always have on-chain burns. And from what I have been made aware and been made to understand is that we can change the 1.2% at any time as long as it's voted through. We could put it to 100% if it got voted through. Not that we would do that, and that would be totally stupid for obvious reasons. But we can change it, and that's going to be important as we move along over the months and years and the price of the coin goes up and we're burning less from that 1.2% and things like that. So do look forward to participating in these proposals. And I mean, it's good momentum. It's good for the chain to be getting all eyes on it, so to speak, from Twitter, from Reddit, from everywhere, Instagram, wherever people go to find their information. We always intend to make sure that we're on top, we're trending, we're being mentioned, we're talking to the correct people and things like that. But this literally has had the most validator support that I've ever seen since I've been in this. And I mean, it's just such a strong yes vote. And the no's, there's going to be a few no voters. Does it matter? Of course it doesn't, because ultimately all they did was help drive this up to quorum at the time. So thank you, and thanks for letting it, basically this person makes themselves known, because we can go and find out exactly who this validator is that voted no, and we can make sure that when staking and delegating comes back, we can say to people, well, don't vote with them, don't delegate with them because They didn't even support this all coming back online. And this comes down to greediness, in my opinion. Their rewards are good enough for them at the moment to not even want to bother helping the rest of the community. And there are people out there like that, and there's always going to be bad malicious actors that are out there that are like that, but it's totally fine. This is why community validators nodes are going to be so important, and the Lunc Let It Burn channels node is going to be a community node 100%. I'll never get to make a decision for that node. It will always be voted through by the community, and it's as simple as that. And it's the same concept of how we use the governance here on Terra Station, as there'll be an internal governance system for the Let It Burn validator node and the channel. So yeah, looking really, really positive. And as to when's this all going to play out now, just remain calm, stay huddled, okay, and just keep an ear and an eye out for official updates coming from the correct sources, so to speak. And TFL now have 10 days to respond, so we can expect next movements from this proposal on the 13th of this month, which is exactly 10 days from now. 10 days is the exact time that TFL has to respond. Will TFL respond? No, they will not. They're too tied up in too many legal battles and stuff like that, and all those kind of little niggly bits they're involved in to even want to get involved. They don't have the time, they don't have the manpower, they don't have the resources. Does that mean they're blocking us? No, it doesn't. And they've publicly stated they're not going to block anybody trying to gain conceptual mastery. In fact, they said they would help. So it's pretty obvious that TFL not coming back, TFL not going to respond. The validators have already been advised to accept any new software upgrades from Do Kwon on a tweet. And there's going to be V21 that's put out there, and any one of these validators can go right now to GIT Hub and grab that update, and they can update their node. And I have no doubt over the next 10 days, a lot of these validators are going to be doing that, or maybe holding off to see, just in case maybe TFL will apply these parameter changes to their current code base, which would just make everything a million times easier, but also more complicated in the future when we want to continue getting things put through and stuff like that. And then we don't want to have to go to TFL, who are really busy and they're trying to keep not involved in it, and having to keep going back to them and asking them, well, can you implement this and this and this? And it's just better that this becomes a community coin that it is. And this will be the only community owned coin, fully community owned. There's no other coins out there. Me and Matt have spoken about this, me and Zardar, so I've spoken about this with loads of people, that this is really an ultimately community owned coin. And guess what? Whales are too scared to get involved. This is why we're not seeing big whales buying into the space, because there's so many like contingency plans in the event that we do get a malicious actor, because there's ways to deal with that. And yeah, it's looking positive, folks. I hope you have a really nice day. Don't let fudders get you with the whole there's nothing happening from this, and oh, it's over, and the price isn't going up. And just stay safe, folks. It's not financial advice. Like, subscribe, tap the notifications bell to stay informed. And if you haven't subscribed here, consider subscribing, consider supporting our channels, and consider supporting the Let It Burn channel too. It's very important that we don't forget about that burn initiative. It is small at the moment, but it's going to grow and grow and grow and grow, just like Matthew Perry's Let It Burn channel did. And then we're bringing the node. So folks, stay safe, not financial advice. We'll catch you in the next one.